Greetings, ladies and gents, and welcome to this latest version of Tales from Outer Space, where I take an HFY story from somewhere around the internet and read it aloud for your enjoyment. All the relevant links are down below. Like, subscribe, and all that YouTube comf to help this video and channel grow. Anyways, as always, I hope that you enjoy. I would just like to thank the following Tier 5 patrons and channel members for supporting the channel: FallenAngel, BuzzKillington, Datamagnet, and Bob the Dragon. Thank you again. And now, on to the story. Story number 1. Demon's Run, written by Admirable Marsupial3. I thought I knew about human anger. I'd seen them fight, seen them savage nature, and how brutal they could be when enraged. I've seen some of them attack others for various reasons, attacking a friend, stealing from them. I've even seen insults result in hospitalization for the offending party. Many across the galaxy have learned to fear the short-tempered and aggressive human. That is why I was so fond of Jonathan. He had all the good traits of the enigmatic species: passion for projects and ideas, the compassion for those less fortunate than themselves, the lengths that they would go to for those that they had forged intense bonds of friendship and love with. I had never realized how terrifying that last part would be. After his family died in the bombardment, I expected the rage I'd seen in so many humans, the guttural cry, the explosive violence that I'd seen towards those who had earned their ire. What I saw at first was not what I expected. There was no raging cry of grief, no lashing out. There was just an almost deathly calm. I later learned that this was not unknown to humans. One of their sayings captures perfectly what I didn't realize at the time: the calm before the storm. The ship dropped soon after the bombardment. They hadn't sent a fleet, not even a battle group. The settlement wasn't deemed defended enough to warrant more than one. They simply destroyed the security installations, butchered the Kulian troops, and defended the colony and swept in to take the resources not destroyed, intending on enslaving the remaining beings. I took Jonathan to my hidden shelter, thinking him a broken man, wanting to hide my friends and hoping the invaders wouldn't find us, so that we could report what had happened to those who came to investigate once the pirates had left. I didn't know at the time that he wasn't broken, but rather burdened with a terrible purpose. While we were hiding, we heard one of the invaders near our hiding place. I thought us doomed as Jonathan moved unprompted for the first time since his family died. Before I could stop him, he had left our darkened room. As I tried to stay silent, I heard a dull thud. Surely Jonathan being subdued and feared for my life as the door slowly opened. Only then did I realize what had happened to my gentle friend. An unconscious pirate was thrown on the floor and Jonathan followed after him, still with the same blank look that had haunted him since the fateful strike. He took the pirate to the basement and gagged and tied him securely to the table in that room. What happened next will haunt me for the rest of my life. He woke the pirate. I expected screams of rage, demands of the pirate asking why he had murdered his family. What I got was a calm, almost monotone voice. You will not leave this place whole. That much is certain. All you can control is how quick and painless this process will be. I'm going to ask you questions. The longer you take to give me information I need, the more painful and drawn out this will be. If you're lucky, I'll kill you once I'm done. He removed the gag to hear the invader's reply. He laughed in Jonathan's face and said, "You think I'm scared of you, a nobody in a backwater colony that couldn't resist one ship." His laughter was cut short, and Jonathan grabbed one of his appendages and wrenched it till he heard a crunch of bones breaking. The laughs of the pirate replaced with pain. Still, he was defiant. "I serve the most ruthless pirate in the sector. You think your broken bones will make me fear you more than him?" Over the next 12 hours, he learned that was only the beginning. I hadn't even noticed Jonathan put the small pan on the fire. I definitely never considered what he would do with it. First, he scorched the skin of the pirate, calmly asking his questions. How many people were there on the ship? How many were trained fighters? What weapons did they have? What sort of engine did they use? The pirate resisted for so long. I'd never seen anyone take pain like that. I almost found a begrudging respect for the pirate's toughness. But everyone has their limit, and Jonathan found his. He wrapped the tourniquet around the pirate's limbs. I was confused for a second. The pirate's wounds were severe, but he was nowhere near at risk of bleeding out. After that, he gagged the pirate, not interested in what he had to say at the minute. I knew humans were strong. Everyone did. But what I saw next almost made me cry out, even though it was happening to somebody else. He put his foot on the invader's torso, grabbed his leg with a scary force, and ripped the limb from the pirate's body. The screams heard even through his gag. You could hear the pirate trying to talk through the fabric stuffed into his mouth. Finally, broken, seeing the blood loss even with the tourniquet. Jonathan ignored the noise and grabbed the burning pan and jammed it into the bleeding wound, cauterizing the wound and making the pirate's muffled screams even louder. Still, he didn't remove the gag, didn't ask any questions. He simply moved to the next limb and repeated the process, limb by limb, until everyone was removed and sealed. Several times the pirate passed out. Each time, Jonathan stopped, not resuming until he revived the pirate, not wanting him to escape one shred of pain. Finally, Jonathan spoke. "Now you know what I meant when I said that you'd be lucky if I killed you. Next time, I'm going to take your eyes, and then I'm going to ask my questions again. If I'm happy, I'll take your life. If I'm not, I'll take your ears, then your tongue, and then I'll keep you hidden from any civilized mind, keep you alive, make sure you live a long life in your agonizing flesh prison." He followed through on his threat, burning the pirate's eyes until they were nothing more than charred pits. He removed the pirate's gag, and all the secrets poured from his mouth, answering every question that he'd been asked, volunteering any information he thought Jonathan would find useful, instantly answering any more questions asked. Once he was finished, he begged Jonathan to finish the job. Jonathan didn't keep his word. "You showed no honor when you attacked without warning, murdered children. Why should I show you any?" He burned the pirate's ears, took his knife and carved his tongue out. He kept watch over the pirate for the next hour, making sure that he didn't choke on his own blood, making sure that he didn't succumb to his own wounds. Once it was obvious the pirate wouldn't die from his injuries, he turned to me. "I know that must have been difficult for you to watch. I'm sorry for doing that to you. I'm leaving now. I will leave it up to you whether you leave him like this or put him out of his misery. I'm leaving now. If all goes well, when I come back, I'll knock 4 times slowly. If you hear any other knock, it isn't me." I croaked out the first words that I'd managed in hours. "Jonathan, please, don't leave him here like this with me. I can't bring myself to take his life, but I can't stay here with what's left of him. Please, don't do this to me." "Okay, friend. I shouldn't have done this to you. I'll take him with me. Sorry, I have to leave. But remember, 4 knocks or it isn't me." With that, he slung the living meat that was once the feared pirate over his shoulder and left. 14 hours later, there were 4 snow knocks on the door. I removed the barricades, opened the door, and looked upon my friend. Every inch of him was covered in blood, breathing heavy, still that calm, monstrous look at his face. He saw the fear in my eyes, and finally, he broke. He dropped to his knees and started sobbing, trying to speak, but I couldn't make out any of the words over his tears. I keeled next to him and held him as close as fashion that I could manage to a human hug. just holding my friend until there were no tears left. That was almost another 4 hours. Me and Jonathan left the colony a few months later, neither of us able to live in the shadows of the memories of that place. We went our separate ways at the next station, me to a more secure system, him to another colony he had family on. He told me he needed time to heal, and the colony he was moving to had a good psychiatrist who dealt with what humans call PTSD. I met another human at my new home. He was friendly enough, more boisterous than Jonathan had been, but still full of those loving qualities I had admired in my friend. Once I knew him better, I spoke to him about what happened. He seemed disturbed, but strangely seemed to understand what had happened. He explained that while aggressive members of their species would lash out when threatened, use violence as the first solution. The gentle ones would avoid it until such a point that the violence was an expression of rage, but a tool used to ensure the targets of that rage would never be able to do in the future what they'd been done to others. It turns out that they have a saying for that too. Demons run when a good man goes to war. End of story. And that, my friends, concludes this video. I hope that you enjoyed, and if you do, please consider supporting the author, even by popping over and leaving a thumbs up or a nice comment, just to show your appreciation for the story. However, if you wish to support this channel, there are links down below which will help immensely. I will see you all in the next one, and until then, I hope that you have a fantastic day. Cheers.